Hi, today I'm going to be talking about who I personally would like to be Donald Trump's vice president. Now, there have been a lot of options put forward, mostly by uh, people on the internet, just random people. Um, I don't believe Donald Trump has endorsed any particular candidate, um, but there have been a lot of names, right? Like some of the more popular ones: Vance, Scott, Rubio, uh, even some candidates that I don't think have a chance but seem to be fairly popular, like Tulsi Gabbard. All right. Well, I personally would like Vivek Ramaswamy. He did incredibly well at the debates in the Republican primaries. Um, if you go back and watch them, he was, other than maybe Nikki Haley, but that's a stretch, he definitely won the debates, right? And I only say Nikki Haley may have won the debates because she was, I believe, the most popular, but Vivek definitely won. All right. Now, why Vivek? Why, of all the candidates, why him? Right. Now, I do think Donald Trump's vice president is very important for the Republicans because it almost gives them an excuse to vote for Trump, right? If he has a good vice president. Because they're like, oh, Donald Trump's really old. He could very well die of old age in office, something like that. As many people, I believe, would say the same about Joe Biden. But there's just not a lot of centrist, left-leaning voters that really like Donald Trump at all, and would feel comfortable voting for him. Even a lot of people on the right aren't big fans of Donald Trump. So I believe his vice president is very crucial for this election, at least for the Republicans. Now, Vivek, a lot of people are saying he's like Donald Trump Jr. He is a placeholder for Trump in the primaries. I don't really buy into this belief very much, primarily because he is not like a carbon copy of Donald Trump, right? He does hold some similar views, even a lot of similar views, but I believe his character is a lot has a lot more broad appeal, right? As compared to Donald Trump. But most people's characters have a broader appeal than Donald Trump, if we're being completely honest here. Because Donald Trump's personality, some people really like it about him. Most people really dislike it about him. Which is why even before, obviously COVID and January 6th, even before those, the media and people at large were, especially on the left, not so much on the right, were saying, oh, Donald Trump, he's this, he's that, whatever. But now they actually have like concrete stuff they can criticize him on, like the mishandling of COVID or January 6th, obviously. But I do believe a lot of the reason people hated him so much, even before those, in like 2016, 2017, 2018, was because of his personality. He is very out there. He is not a calm, collected person by any means. And in some ways that is helpful, in other ways that is very harmful to him in the country, you know. But this video isn't really about Donald Trump, it's about Vivek Ramaswamy. So let me get back on track here and say Vivek, one big reason, I think the biggest reason I would support him as vice president would be his stance against BlackRock and the Vanguard Group. Now, these are effectively monopolies, if you somehow don't know, that control and own the vast majority of large companies in the United States. And they are, make no mistake, they are monopolies because they own all the competition. So they're not competing against anybody. That's textbook monopoly. Well, Vivek has said that we need to do something about that, and I'm not sure. I'm not confident that he could, especially as vice president, dismantle these large monopolies, you know. But at least he's speaking out against them, right? Which is more than I can say for most other candidates. Notable example of somebody else speaking out against them is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which is the reason I would support him as the Democratic candidate. Not solely for that reason, but doesn't hurt at all. But what else about Vivek? He is very America first, which I do appreciate. He's not somebody who's gonna be sending billions or trillions even of dollars in aid to Ukraine or Israel, you know, which as much as it is nice to be helping out these other countries, I think there's so many domestic issues that need to be combated first and foremost. So that's another big reason, and that's kind of domestic and foreign policy. What else is there? Abortion. I believe Vivek is pretty moderate on abortion. He's not one of those Republicans who's gonna install a nationwide 4 or 6 week ban, you know. I think the most radical he would be to just keep things how they are, you know, which isn't radical in my opinion. Just having Roe v. Wade overturned. I think, and here's the thing, Joe Biden in the debate, as disastrous as that was, he did have a really good point in saying that's like turning over civil rights to the states, you know? And that was a good point, you know? But I think we don't really know enough about abortions to know when exactly the fetus is a baby, you know? So, personally, I think the states should get to decide that until we know for certain. I think doctors should work together with politicians to be making these decisions. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case anywhere. But I think we should not have like a nationwide ban at a certain week or month, you know, because we just don't know. It's impossible to know with our current technology and our current understanding of pregnancy processes, you know, like, oh, at what point is the child developed enough to get rights, you know, especially over the mother, or have them considered, really. So, but that was a little spiel about abortion. What other issues are there? Ukraine, Israel. I already talked a little bit about them. I am pretty anti-war, and I'm pretty isolationist. I'm not so far as to impose tariffs. I'm not a huge fan of tariffs. I'm not strictly opposed to tariffs, but they're not my cup of tea personally, but I can understand if you would believe them necessary. I just don't want to be supporting propping up other countries when we have so much going on at home, you know? So this was just me rambling a lot, honestly. I didn't talk that much about Vivek, but there's just a little bit of why he would be my choice for vice president for Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump does choose Vivek Ramaswamy as his vice president and Joe Biden doesn't step down, I think I will vote for Donald Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy. Like, I would vote for that ticket, I believe. Preferably, it'd be somebody else other than Trump. But I think I am one of those people that having a VP I like would give me an excuse to vote for him, you know? And I hate that that our system is like this, two parties. You know, I wish we had ranked choice voting. Then I could be like, oh yes, my first choice, Vivek, whoever. Second choice, Robert F. Kennedy. Third choice, I guess, Donald Trump. And then I guess maybe Kamala Harris. And then leave off Joe Biden, because anybody but him, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking here. But star voting, we should have something like that implemented. But I think I've rambled long enough.